Hello everyone, you see me, yeah. I am Francesco Volpi and I'm a third year student of TV production at Euclid, and today I'm going to show you how to do a few things in the studio. We're going to start off with our lights. So this one right here, you can sort of see it, bring it closer. This is a softbox. It's a light that basically softens the shadow around the scene. So you may want to use it when you have like harsh lights, say 3-point lighting when you're working with subjects. And this light basically what it does, it just takes away the shadows a bit and makes everything a bit nicer. We'll go over the controls later. This light right here, we zoom back in the corner. This is called a Fresnel light. Sort of main light whenever we use it for a, say, a fill or a front or key light. Is our most powerful lights are the Fresnel lights with different sort of kinds of them. There is this one particularly, is a bigger one, a bigger module. We also have smaller ones you're going to find around the studio. Basically, they vary in power and in voltage, watts, whatever, that, yeah. And so just use them accordingly to how much light you need on the subject. This light behind me is a fun light. It's a cyc light. Basically, it's a light that will light our cyc, which is the curtain you see behind me. So this black drop or the green drop there in the corner. We also have some white cycs just to know where they are. You can color these lights. So this one has a purple gel in front. You can sort of see the purple coloring. And this light right here is our gobo light. What it does is basically projects a very spotted light, and you can put a gel as well, so to color it. You can also put some designs in front of it, some printed designs on gels, so you can actually project images onto a cyc, onto a floor, onto the wall, and you can make your show very unique and very sort of personal. Right, so let's talk about the controls here. So you see the poles are different colors. So there's a white one, there's a blue one. The colors are universal for our lights, so you will find them all the same in the studio. Some of them have less poles, some of them have more, but a softbox is a pretty good example to start from. So we have the white pole controls the tilt of a light. You see as I move in it, the light moves with it. So if you move it anti-clockwise, it moves down, and clockwise moves up. And with the blue one instead, it pans, so it moves left and right. So if you move it left, it moves left, and move right, it moves right. That's a fairly easy light. To move a light, it's pretty easy. You can move it on the rail. You move it, you're dragging it, you see it moves left, and it moves right. And to basically have it up and down, all you do is to push it down, just bring it down from here. You see I have a pantograph. This structure here extends. And if I move it up, I can just, if I want it all the way up, all I do is just bring it up like this usually, and then I push it, and it's out of the way. So this is a Fresnel light. As you see, it's very, very big. So you should not touch this part here of the light because it gets very, very hot because the lamp is right inside it. So always use gloves when you're managing lights. I'm not doing it because I like danger. So these are our barn doors. So basically what they do is they direct the light basically. So reduce our fill so that our light is more spotted towards a single subject or a single area. You can open them up and down, or you can bang them lightly with our lighting pole, which I'll show you later on. As you can see from the side, shouldn't be doing this. There are two poles once again. Blue is for our pan and the white is for our tilt, as an example of the barn door, as any other light here in the studio. But there is another pole on our Fresnels, which is really quite important, which is this one, the yellow one. What the yellow pole does basically is it focuses or spots the light. So if you turn it, you essentially see your light moving because the mirrors inside move closer together, I think, or something like that. Rob Griffiths will tell you in third year, or second year, I'm not sure when he tells you. Anyway, so if you move it, your light becomes more spotted or more flooded. So ideally, if you want like a big scene, you flood the light, so you add this all the way to the right anti-clockwise, and if you wanted to spot it instead, go all the way the other way. You have a very focused light on only one subject. I'll show you how that changes. Well, right now, should I? Right, so here's our finale again. This is a profile shot, a POV shot, so you can really see how this is done. So these are our yellow pole. So look at the light sort of in front there. So when I turn it, you see our light changes, and instead of being into a tight circle, it goes into a spread area. I'll do this again. So I'm moving it to my right, clockwise, and the light goes into a small circle, as you can see right there, sort of in the bottom center of our screen. I'll do it again to show you the difference. Now it's flooded, so you have quite a very spread out area, and that's how you do it right for now. Right, so the cyc light is a bit different. It doesn't have as many controls as the other lights, just as one on the pole, which is right here. These are a white one, so as you already know, those will control the tilt of the light. Because essentially all you need the cycs for is to light sort of an area right in front of them. So you wouldn't need to control their spotting or flooding, and not really their pen, because all you can do is bring them down and turn them. As I said before, it's very important. The cycs are color. So you see here there's a purple light. It's not, I didn't put it on full brightness, it looks a bit bluish. But to take the screen out, you pull this thing out, and then you lift this up carefully. Ideally with your light off, not on like I'm doing. Please don't tell Kevin. You bring this out, so you see now the light has changed to a very yellowy color. I'm gonna bring it up for the moment, so it's out of the way. And then you see here, these are our grill. This basically protects us from any breaks in the bulb. The bulb would explode. The glass is going to be trapped inside here instead of spilling everywhere. So all you do is you open these things here. Usually there is two. Some of them are broken, just so you know. You open this apart. You take the grill off. And then you open this, and there you go. And then you have your gel, which you can replace for any other color. So actually right now what we have, it's a blue and purple, I just found out. So I'm gonna show you the difference. So if I were to put only my blue in, inside here, you close it down, so it fits it. You lift these two clamps, or whatever you want to call them, up, put them down, and then you bring your light back into action. Grill, first of all, so the grill goes closer to the light. There is a little path there, there's a rail for it, so it slides right in. And then you put your color gel here, and you close the whole thing together. Now, as you can see here, there is little holes that they are there for you to close it down altogether. The little clamp I showed you before, this thing here. So you gotta make sure that your holes are matching and they're close together. So you can see here in the grill, sort of this L shape. So you gotta make sure that this part is close to the gel instead of to the lens. So put it back down, close to here, clamp it together, like I'm doing now. There we go. So then it's secure, it's tight, and you can see our light has changed to blue instead of the purplish color we had before. All right, so that's it for the cyc light, which once again you use to color your scene, your cycs, just the curtains in the back. Don't tell that to Adam. Here, cycs, C-Y-C-S, I guess, for the plural. And you also use them sometimes as a backlight. Like now for my example, I'm using one just all the way up there as a backlight instead of a cyc light, just because it's something you could use as well. It gives you quite a nice spread out area. Since I'm moving about a lot, it's probably something you would need instead of a softbox. Right. After this, we're gonna show you how to operate and everything. Probably the most complicated light here in the studio, in my opinion at least, the gobo. So So this is our gobo. As I said before, you can think about this as a projector. So basically it projects an image, a very spotted light, onto anything you want in the studio. Ideally, wall or ceiling or floor, or one of the panels we have in here as well. So the controls on the light are a bit different from the other one. So basically what you do instead of having the poles, you literally have to move the light itself. So you take it down, like I have, and then to move it, there's a pole here to the right, a sort of a black vertical pole, which you have to twist, and then the light does that. So it goes down. And then you can just use the handle at the back to angle it up and down. So I'm gonna just do it so like this now, lock it and move it up. Moving left to right, as an example of the cyc light, you just have to move it with your hands. As you can see, there's these things here, and you can think about them sort of as barn doors. They're gonna basically cut the image you project. So if I move them, they go in and out, and there is 4 of them on every side of the circle. And basically they cut the image. So say you have something like a full circle image, as you would, and you want to cut, say, the top bit, you would bring the top one down, and they would just eliminate part of your image. That's how we do it for that bit. Now, I'm going to bring this straight again. Now, the most crucial and the most important and probably the hardest thing to do with this light is control the projected image. So make sure that you have the size you want and the focus you want with your image. And to do that, you can see this is why these 2 black poles underneath. You undo them, so left loose, right tighty, and then you move them back and forth. And by doing that in the right combination, you get focus and size. The only problem is when you move this light up and down, of course your focus is going to change for the inverse square law, which we're going to go over in the next year, 2 years. Simply is, if the light is far away, you're going to have a bigger lit area. If your light is closer, it's going to be a smaller lit area. Think about it as a square, and the origin of the square sort of moving back, like a 3D square thingy, and I don't know what I'm going to say. Whatever. But so when you focus on this light and you move it up and down as you would, that's going to change. So you sort of have to guess your focus and size, and then move it up, and then recorrect it again. So it takes quite a long time. So it's something a lighting director would have to do sort of as his first sort of thing, even though it's not an essential light in the studio because it's just for a decoration sort of purpose. Next, I'll show you sort of what this pole do. So I'll show you the projected image, and then I'll show you how to plug in a light. So I'm going to go back into the engineering room in the back of the gallery, and I'm going to show you how to do all that. Sweet. Right, well, welcome back once again. So you see right there where the projected stars. So that's exactly what a gobo would do. So I'm going to go over to the other side and go back to our poles and show you what they do. And look at the back, don't look at me, look at the cyc, the curtain, and the image, and see how that changes. So as I move them, see, now I've lost focus completely. You cannot really see anything on camera, nor can I really hear. And if I move this back, it's even worse. If I lock the first pole closer to the light, and I move the other one, you're gonna get a focused image. Cannot really see it on camera, but trust me, it's focused. If we wanted to have a bigger image, we probably need to bring this light up, tilt it down, and move the focus panels, move the focus poles again. Now, a thing with the gobos, please do remember it, is something that people do a lot and do it by mistake. Do not use them close to the subject. For the inverse square law, it's a very focused and spotted light. It needs to be far away from where you have to light. In this example, the stars, you're not going to even see them on a studio camera, especially on the old ones we have now today. Maybe in your time, you're going to have HD cameras. In my time, 2015, we do not. So do not do the mistake that people make. So please use this gobo light on a far subject. So let's say across the other wall, from the back of the studio to the front of the studio, but not close to it. Right now, so coming up next, I'm going to show you how to plug in the lights in the studio, from the studio to the engineering room, and then I'm going to show you a bit of the desk, of the lighting desk, and then we'll move on to a new episode for the next part. Right, guys, so you can see there in the image I have a pole showing with a number on it. That's on number 19, so that matches the line number. So there's this wire that goes all the way down from the connector to the connector close to the light itself. And that number there, number 19, will match with a number that will go in the engineering room in a plug socket into there. So for every light, we'll follow the same procedure. So we're going to show it to you with this small Fresnel, and then you can repeat the same process throughout. Right, guys, so I'm here in the engineering room. This is the room where all the stuff you have to plug in. It's going to work right in here. This is where I used to pretty much live over these 3 years. This is where you're most likely going to find student engineer, technical engineer, or Kevin, which is going to be your god. So remember Kevin as a figure of importance in your life here at uni. So these are essentially the connectors from the light. So they look exactly the same in the studio. So there's this big 3-hole thingy. And as you remember, we show you in the light, they're exactly the same, so blue and white. And there is a number right here. So this is, for instance, is number 2. So now we're going to find our light, which was number 19, if I believe correctly, which is probably going to be this one right here. So you see, right number 19, and there is a 19 on it. Trust me on that, if you can see it. I swear to God, there is a 19 on it. So this is the lighting rack, basically, all of them. This lighting pack. So there is 6 channels on every one, double. And as you can see, they have some lights in from what we were showing you before, the lights. So for instance, I think this is our Fresnel, this is our softbox. And so for instance, this is our light 19, right? So we're gonna plug it in. For sake of argument, let's plug it into here. Right. So every single one of these inputs matches on a fader in the desk. So, and you can see actually the number underneath with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So counting down, this is fader 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going down is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So our light number 19 will be on fader 13. So once I go and turn that on, our light will come on onto fader 13. So follow the same procedure for every single light and do that. Exactly the same. So to make sure this all works fine, just go through your lights, take the numbers down on a piece of paper, come in here, plug them in, match that light on a fader, write down the fader number, go to your lighting desk, and turn everything on. It's very simple, but just make sure you follow the procedure correctly. Getting the right numbers is fundamental, and getting the right fader number from here to there is also very, very important. So let's go in there, once again, light number 19 on channel 13. Let's go in there and see if that works, yeah? Here we are again on the lighting desk. As you see, I put channel 13 right in your shot. So here is channel 13. So our light number 19, our small Fresnel I showed you before in the studio, should just match this channel. So let's turn on. As I said before, a green light should come on the desk, and the number should increase. The green number should increase on the screen as we move the fader up. So let's do that right now. So let's bring it about halfway up. That's a good way to go. So channel 13 is on 61. So yeah, it's about halfway. So let's go see if our light works. It's working fine.